Okay. Hi everyone, good morning. Right, and this is a case study. Varl Town PLCs. Varl Town is a pool, right? Swimming pool construction company. Varl Town Pool is a swimming pool construction and maintenance company based in Queensland, Australia. Although the company is well established, it has started to struggle as a result of new competition in the area in an effort of improving competitiveness. Varl Town Pools has lowered the prices in its maintenance services and it's taken some of the construction work at a loss in 2016. Table 32.4 and 32.5 show the statement of comprehensive income and the statement of financial position respectively of Varl Town Pool. So here you can see 32.4, the statement of comprehensive income year ending 31st December 2016. So here we can find out the revenue, cost of sale, and gross profit are there. And then after that, gross profit all minus all the expenses, administration expenses, other operating expenses, and operating profit is there after that. And after deducting financial costs, we can see the profit for the year. So here, gross profit margin we can find out, gross profit over revenue into 100, and operating profit margin we can find out operating profit divided by over revenue into 100, and profit for the year margin we can find out net profit margin. We can find out profit for the year over revenue into 100, and after taxation we can see the profit after taxation. Also in 2015 we can see there's a 28,400 gross profit and 10,000 operating profit, and then after tax 6,900. But this figures was bad in 2016. It's clearly say there's a competition with there. Taken some construction work at a loss in 2016 due to the there's a result of new competition in the area, right? Because you can see because of the competition, always they're losing some market share. As a result, you can see some revenue has gone down to 49,000 to 45,600, and then cost of sale improve, and also administration expenses gone up, and these are the main reason, and also operating expenses gone up. Finance cost gone up, but the revenue wise you can see there's a deterioration. You can see the decrease in the revenue, but all the expenses side they have improved. I think due to sometimes inflation, sometimes because the cost controlling section is bad. Anyway, the organization cost part actually and also revenue also you can see it's gone negative, and as a result their gross profit, even though they have gross profit 20,500 positive figure, but at the end of the, because the huge administration cost is there to be, so they had to go on. So operating profit over the year, and profit for the year after taxation become minus. So therefore in 2016 the business become a loss-making situation, right? And also you can see this Varl Town PLC, the company's SOFP, statement of financial position. Current non-current asset section no change. Property value gone down because of the plant and equipment, because of the depreciation value. So and current assets value, you can see inventory little bit go now by 800,000 Australian dollars, and then trade receivables and cash, you can see cash position goes down heavily, 5,300 1,200. It seems that 2016 they have some liquidity issues. So 12,900 current asset levels gone down to 9,800 level, right? And also current liability section, you can see current liability, also trade payables gone up, taxation, and then total current liabilities drop. Working capital, net current asset figure gone down. That is working capital figure means like a, you can see current asset minus current liability. So the organization, the liquidity problem, which we can see again 7,000 to 4,600 gone down. And non-current liability section that improved a little bit for 900,000, and then shareholder equity position you can see is gone down because retained profit level gone down because of the loss making to 10,300 6,800. So capital employed, look at see owners equity gone down 13,300 9,008. So this is a case study given with the SOFP income statement. Asking 3 questions. Describe one reason why employees at Varl Town Pools might be interested in the financial document shown in the tables above. If you are a worker, employee here, employees mainly looking at the financial statement to assess their job security, ability to get some kind of a bonus, some kind of profit share to increase their salary, These are the main reasons why employees are mainly looking at the financial statement. Now they ask the second one, discuss two ways which Varl Town Pools might be used financial documents to make decisions. So making decisions, you can see they can make investment decisions, they can make the expansion decision, they can make some kind of like a capital structuring decision. Different decisions there we can take from the SOFP income statement. So assess the performance of Varl Town Pools between 2015 and 16. Make clear judgment in your evaluation. So this case, when you're asking to evaluate the performance, then you have to calculate the three ratios: gross profit margin, operating profit margin, and the ROCE. Right? We'll see how to actually answer these kind of questions. You can see the first question: why employees would like to this thing? Right? Why employees would like this situation? Okay, I'll. Right, Kiara, can you read the first question? Describe one reason why employees of Varl Town Pool might be interested in the financial document shown in the table above.
Yeah, sir. Employees might need financial information during wage negotiations. For example, information and profitability, liquidity, and financial prospects of the business could be used to decide whether business can afford to raise wages. They may also look at accounting information to see whether their jobs are secure. The information in tables 32.4 and 32.5 is not very encouraging for employees. Revenue has fallen over the 2 years, and in 2016, the business made a loss. This suggests that their jobs are not entirely safe and that a wage increase is very unlikely at the moment.
Very good. So that's a way how to explain describe question. Sometimes asking this question can become for analyze question, analyze to a reason. Now, like outline one reason. This case, you can see the application and the knowledge part. You can see first of all, they're mentioning why employees would like to see the financial document to wage negotiation and the to assess their job security. The two things: wage negotiation and job security. And in the application part, they say in this case they can see information from these tables that these are not very encouraging. Revenue has fallen for over the 2 years, and 2016 business made a loss. This is actual application that you can see the business context is there in the middle of the answer. And then at the end of the answer, they say as a result of the what happened, analyzing, as a result, this will be not a good time to actually go for a wage negotiation. And also the jobs are not entirely safe because if business making losses mean that the jobs are also not safe. Right, so this is a way that employers are mainly asking. Actually, there are two things I mentioned: the wage negotiation and job security. So they normally in a question like when you're writing 2 points, which means there's a 6-marker question. If you asking just one, describe one, or outline one reason, then it should be like a 2-marker question. You can outline one reason and you can give the application. Okay. The question number 2 asking discuss 2 ways in which Varl Town Pools might use the financial document to make decisions. Right. Okay, this one I'll invite TJ. Can you read the answer? Question number 2.
Businesses will make better informed decisions if they have access to financial documents. Since financial documents contain quantitative information, they can be very helpful in the decision-making process. For example, Varl Town Pools may need up-to-date financial information to help run the business and make key decisions such as how to reduce costs. The statement of comprehensive income for the company shows that both cost of sales and expenses have increased between 2015 and 2016. For example, cost of sales has increased by around 17%. Varl Town Pools could examine the different costs to help identify problems. For example, if the cost of raw materials is rising, Townsville Pools might decide to find some cheaper suppliers. In 2016, Varl Town Pools made a loss of 3.5 million
Australian dollars. Yeah.
Australian dollars. This is shown clearly in the statement of comprehensive income. The business may use the financial documents to try to find ways of improving profitability. For example, if the gross profit margins are small in relation to competitors, it may be because prices are too low or costs of sales are too high. Therefore, prices can be raised or new suppliers might be found for raw materials and other key resources. Perhaps wage costs need more control. Profitability might also be improved if revenues are falling behind those of competitors. For example, perhaps a business should try to find new markets to help increase sales. Overseas, for example. In this case, Varl Town Pools has been lowering prices to fight off new competition. It is possible that the
Price reductions
have been too severe. Consequently, the business may decide to review this strategy.
Correct. So this is normally the question they're asking, what is the main advantage? It's the how the discussion question they're asking two questions, discuss the ways in which Varl Town Pool might use their financial documents to help to make decisions. And we talk about the mainly they can make different decisions. For example, they can make investment decisions, right? They can make the costing decision, like a cost cutting decision. In this case, they have to actually have some kind of tight control of their costing because the business organization has made losses in 2016. Because you can find out that the even though revenue drop and the expenses also high. So normally when the revenue drop, business try to reduce the expenses, right? Control the expense. But this case, nothing like that. They have increased the expenses along with the revenue also drop, but increase the expenses. This is actually sometimes might be need to pay attention for the business organization. And they made loss of 3.5 million Australian dollars. That's why this is normally you can find out, and also we can make the comparison between the relation to computers, how their profit margin, maybe the prices are too low for the company because they are charging low prices. That's because of that. And also the evidence is there, they are facing some kind of competition in the industry, right? Like always the organization, when you're making a comparison and you're making decisions, mention what are the decisions they can take, update decisions, reducing cost decision, investment decision, pricing decisions. So everything you can get the very quantitative information you can find out from this one, right? Okay, the last question they're asking, the assess question, they're asking the organization, the Varl Town PLC, assess the performance of the Varl Town Pools between 2015 and 16 and make a clear judgment in your evaluation. Right? This one I'll invite Saranya, can you read the answer, please?
One of the main uses of financial documents is to assess the performance of a business. A number of stakeholders such as owners, shareholders, potential investors, employees, and managers will be interested in the performance of a business. In this case, the information in table 32.4 and 32.5 shows that the performance of Varl Town Pools has taken a turn for the worse between 2015 and 2016. For example, in 2015, the business made a profit after tax of 6,900,000 Australian dollars. However, in 2016, this became a loss of 35,000 Australian dollars. This is a significant worsening, which none of the company stakeholders would welcome. The statement of comprehensive income shows that revenue has fallen by 8.4%. Both costs of sales and expenses have risen significantly. Falling revenues and rising costs are a bad sign for a business. In this case, the likely reason for the outcome is the arrival of new competition in the market. In an effort to improve competitiveness, Varl Town Pools has lowered the prices of its maintenance services and taken on some construction work at a loss in 2016. This strategy does not appear to have worked very well. By lowering prices, the business would have expected to raise revenue, but this hasn't happened. In fact, revenue has fallen. The statement of financial position also shows a downturn in performance. For example, the amount of working capital, net current assets, has fallen by nearly 34%. A particular problem is the fall in the cash balance from 300,000 Australian dollars to 1,200,000 Australian dollars. This is in spite of borrowing more money. Non-current liabilities have increased by 900,000 Australian dollars. Also, the value of the business has fallen sharply. The net assets fell from 13,300,000 Australian dollars in 2015 to 9,800,000 Australian dollars in 2016. This means that the business is worth 3,500,000 Australian dollars less. To conclude, the performance of Varl Town Pools has worsened significantly as a result of new competition in the market. The outlook is also poor. After lowering prices and carrying out some construction work at a loss, the business is still struggling. It may not survive much longer.
Very good. So this is the like a structure for 12 marker question. You can see at the end there is a conclusion also. So normally a 12-mark question, you have to write the definition part and the 2 advantages, supportive points, and then 2 arguments against that in disadvantage points, and then the conclusion. In this case, this is asking to evaluate. Like this kind of a question I actually gave in my the formal assessment paper, 6-mark question I have tested, analyze the performance of the organization by using the ratio. So this case, they have given some kind of both actually income statement, SOFP, both they have given. The application section, they have given so much of numbers, right? SOFP, for example, here, the downturn of performance, working capital fallen by 34%. You can find out, the final minus initial over initial into 100. You can find out there's 34% going down. The net current asset, which is working capital position, which means the cash balance also gone down from 5.3 million to 1.2 million Australian dollar. So again, that's why I told you, you can get some indication from there. This is a sharp fall of the current assets. As a result of that, there will be working capital problems will be there definitely, and non-current liabilities have increased by 900,000, which means the value of the business has fallen sharply from 13,003 million to 9.8 million. So there's a equity section, net asset section. The capital employed section also gone down because of the loss making. The business is worth now, because of that, the difference of this thing is 3.5 million less. In 1 year, they had dropped 3.5 million Australian dollars. And also in the income statement section, they have given their gross profit margin, operating profit margin, right? Especially starting with the revenue, right? Revenue fallen by 8.5%. This is you can take from the difference between 2015-16 figures, the final minus initial or initial into 100, that 8.4% drop of can see the revenue, and both cost of sale and the expenses has risen sharply, because significantly, as I told you, usually when the revenue falls, you should cost part also you can control, but here nothing happened like that. You can see cost increasing significantly, even though revenue also gone. Falling revenue and rising costs are a bad sign for a business. Look at the thing they are commenting. It's a bad sign always, because it's always a bad situation. Why? Revenue going down, expenses increasing. So in this case, look at the application. The likely reason for this outcome is the arrival of the new competition. They justify this because in evaluation, you have to analyze why the reason this kind of bad situation happened because of the arrival of competition to the market. It's an effort to improve the competitiveness. In Varl Town Pools has lowered the prices of the maintenance services and taken some of the construction work at a loss in 2016. So this strategy does not appear to have worked very well. That's why sometimes they might have lowered their prices. If you lower the prices than your competitor, sometimes you might get orders, but your cost of sales will increasing and you ended up with the low profit margin. That's what happened. You are making losses at the end of 2016. This strategy does not appear to have worked very well. So lowering prices, the business would expect a rise in the revenue, but actually it doesn't happen. It doesn't work in this case. In fact, the revenue has fallen. That's the thing. So you can see now this is the way that you have to actually knowledge and application. You have to apply to the answer and you have to write to the point with your evaluation analysis part. So and I would like to say the conclusion section also very nice. The conclusion section to conclude, the performance of Varl Town Pool has worsened significantly as a result of the new competition in the market. The outlook is also poor, right? Outlook is poor, and also after lowering the prices and carrying out some construction work at a loss, the business is struggling, and this may not survive much longer. Like this, you can't survive much longer. It's a good commenting about that thing. What is your idea? What is your belief? What is your opinion about the company's outlook? That's what we expect from this kind of answer. Like evaluation questions that normally carries 12 marker, right? If you ask the question like that, given both financial statements to evaluate by using the ratios and everything, comment about the financial performance and the position, you must be able to write like that. Okay, right. Now we are moving into the exam practice, the questions of the business finance. The business finance entire chapter will be done with this. After that, I'm going to, my next session is actually operational management sections. We are going to discuss in the economies of scale and economies of scale part there. Right. Exam practice 3, business finance. So in the business finance section, right, so we discuss so many lessons like sources of finance, internal, external, cash flow forecasting, break-even analysis, and the ratio analysis, right? Income statement, SOFP. So so many lessons that we discuss. So this is the exam practice question. Normally in examination, what kind of questions is there? You can see the command words, what kind of answers, what kind of a questions they will be coming in IGCSE. So look at this case study. West Point Private Limited manufactures a range of beds and it sells it to retailers in the New South Wales, Australia. An extract from the statement of comprehensive income is shown in the table below. Revenue, cost of sale, and gross profits are given here in the from Australian dollars. And look at the thing AO1 define question. Define the term cost of sale, 1 mark. AO2 calculate the gross profit margin of West Point, 2 marks. Another question, outline AO2, right? Outline one reason why West Point might produce statement of comprehensive income. One reason, right? 2 marks. And analyze the importance of cash to West Point, 6 mark question. Here, analyze question we are giving skills AO2 and AO3. AO2 and AO3. What is it? This is a productivity based question. Importance of cash flow. Importance of the cash to the West Point. Productivity of the cash flow. And then 9 mark question. You can see the West Point has experienced the financial difficulties in recent months and wants to improve cash flow. 2 options have been identified. Option 1, take out a bank overdraft, short-term funding external, and make more use of trade payables. Make more use of trade. This is a working capital management internal method, short term. So justify which one of these 2 options West Point should choose. 9 mark question. So here we are checking AO2 application, AO3 analysis, AO4 evaluation. You can see here the skills we are checking that this question is a critical thinking, problem solving, reasoning, decision making, creativity, innovation. These are the skills that we are going to checking from this thing. Right. For example, define question, you can use the definition. Cost of sale is the, you can see the difference, you can see all the direct cost that is actually we incurred to make the sales. Cost of sale, you can see the calculation also you can mention. Cost of sale will be calculated by adding the opening inventory plus purchases and minus closing inventory. So cost of sale is a direct cost which is applicable to the, which is incurred to make the sales. Direct cost is purchases and the carriage inverse and the inventories comes under cost of sale definition, right? And calculation questions, usually you should use the workings always. I always recommend you to use the workings there. Gross profit margin for the West Point. The gross profit margin equal gross profit over revenue into 100. In this case, gross profit is 5,200 and is divided by 14,200 and multiplied by 100. So here the revenue, gross profit over revenue into 100, the answer coming 36.6197, like that. So always giving a profit margin, always give it to 2 decimal points. Sometimes questions they are giving to 2 decimal point, 1 decimal points, follow the instruction. Otherwise, always you can give the answer to the 2 decimal points with the percentage. Here I can say the answer 36.62. 36.62%, because the answer coming 36.619. So I can round off to 2 decimal point, 36.62%. Then I get the answer like that. Calculate questions. Outline question. Outline one reason why West Point might produce a statement of comprehensive income. By statement of comprehensive income, you can several advantages are there. You can find out compare the performance. You can find out the profitability of the business organization and the cost structure, cost efficiency. You can find out the cost controlling part. You can find out the difference between the gross profit and the net profit. The cost controlling part you can find out like that. There are so many benefits are there. You can see one reason and give the reason. For example, we can find out how much is the performance of the business, the cost of sale of the business, the cost controlling section of the business. We can find out one reason why they want to produce a statement of comprehensive income in order to find out the you can see the profitability of the business. So in this case, the West Point Limited has made a 5.2 million actually thousands Australian dollars during this year by deducting the cost of sale of 9,000. So you can see like that, that is 36% of the gross profit they are retaining in the business. Analyze question, importance of cash. This question normally, importance of cash mean like, we have the cash position mean then we can use that money in order to pay the salaries and wages of the West Point Limited manufacturing organization. They are managers, the showroom managers, the laborers, salaries they can pay with the cash. And also, if you have another importance of cash is if they have the money, they can settle their long-term short-term obligations, short-term liabilities, such as they can pay their suppliers of these beds, and they can settle their electricity wages and electricity bills, telephone bills, and like utility bills, they can settle with the cash. Therefore, cash is important for the West Point manufacturers in order to smoothly run their manufacturing functions. Like that, always give 2 reasons and 2 applications. Right? BLT points you can use like bacon, lettuce, tomato, because it's therefore structures you can use BLT, or BTT, because therefore, like that. Sentence building structures are important, interrelated logical chain of reasoning. Okay, the 9-marker question, the last one. The West Point has experienced financial difficulties in recent months and wants to improve their cash flow. 2 options has been identified. Option 1, take out a bank overdraft. Option 2, make more use of trade payable. This kind of a question, when you're answering 9-mark question, I'm always saying pick one option. In the one option, if you choose the bank overdraft, you can talk about 2 advantages and 2 disadvantages of the bank overdraft, right? And if you pick the other option, second option, right, then you can talk about that 2 advantages and 2 disadvantages. Always it's like that. 9-mark question, always pick one option, and then you can talk about the advantages and disadvantages. 2 is a method. No definition or no conclusion is required for a 9-mark question, right? So if you take out the bank overdraft, you can see it's a way more flexible method, very easy, convenient method, because of the bank manager will be given in difficult times. Bank manager will try to help you by looking at your financial, the credit worthiness. Moreover, bank overdraft will be, the document is now not there. It's very flexible, very fast method, right? So you can quickly obtain something over the phone. You can discuss the matter and you can obtain it. Or bank overdraft is a very quick and convenient method. However, bank overdraft will be the disadvantage also. You have to write, this will be high interest cost is there. In case if you delay the payments to the banker will be charging the interest on the daily basis. High interest cost is there. And also bank overdraft, sometimes another disadvantage of this is bank overdraft. Sometimes bankers will ask you to settle at any time, like, sometimes bankers will pressurize you to settle. They have the right to do that. So as a result, bank overdraft sometimes risky way to obtain the money, like that. And also one good point is bank overdraft, you need to put any collateral there. Bankers will give you, just look at your credit worthiness and everything. Okay, so this is the exam practice of the financial management so far. In financial management lessons, we talk about 6 lessons, right? We talk about the business finance, there's also finance. You can see my short note. Why business need money, 4 reasons: startup capital, working capital, expansion, emergency funding. We talk about the source of finance, comes from internal and external. Internal source of finance, we talk about return, profit, working capital, sale of asset, right? And external funding, bank overdraft, trade payables, credit cards are short-term methods of external financing. We talk about the long-term method like loan capital, unsecured bank loans, mortgages, debentures, hire purchase, share capital, venture capital, crowdfunding. We talk about one by one about these things. And also we talk about short-term source of finance, money borrowed for less than 1 year. Long-term source of finance, money borrowed for more than 1 year. We talk about crowdfunding, right, where large numbers of individual crowd invest in the business venture using some online platform, therefore avoiding the using of bank like Kickstarter. It's an example of crowdfunding. Factors affecting choice of funds, talk about the cost, use of funds, status and size, financial situation, risk, and everything. Talk about. And also the other one is a cash flow forecasting. We discussed why business need money, right, to pay suppliers, to overhead, to prevent business failure. These are the main reason. We talk about the difference between cash and profit, right? We talk about cash flow forecast, cash inflow, outflow, net cash flow, importance of cash to the cash flow forecasting. Talk about what are the advantage of cash flow forecasting to a business organization. Then we talk about on the costing lesson, we talk about the direct cost, indirect cost, variable cost, fixed cost, and these formulas I think you might be remember. Total cost equal fixed cost plus variable cost, average cost equal TC over Q, total revenue is equal price into quantity, profit equal total revenue minus total cost. And we talk about break-even analysis also, the level of output where the total cost equal total revenue, right? The neither profit nor loss is made. There we talk about the fixed cost, variable cost, and selling price per unit, these things. So break-even formula we discuss fixed cost over selling price minus variable cost per unit. We talk about break-even chart, right? Break-even chart, it's like that. So total sales, total cost, right? Above the break-even point is a profit. Below the break-even point, there are losses, right? And we have margin of safety there, right? So fixed cost and total cost, total revenue. We talk about this a break-even chart, margin of safety. The difference between actual output and the break-even output is the margin of safety. Intersection point is the break-even point, right? Talk about these things. I think I'm just refreshing you before we end in this section. You can see we talk about advantage of BE break-even point, disadvantage, limitations of the break-even analysis, right? We talk about this chart, margin of safety, everything. In the SOCI, comprehensive income statement, we talk about the features of this thing, cost, what is gross profit, what is net profit, what is retained profit, informations, features of the content in the SOCI, these things, and advantage of SOCI to make investment decisions, cost analysis, provide the basis for future forecasting, making comparison. We talk about the importance of nature of profit, and also we talk about the normal profit, SOFP, information in the SOFP, right? Balance sheet, use of SOFP, right? Right. I think you can find out everything point form I have given you. And the ratio analysis, the numerical mathematical approach to investigate accounts by comparing two related figures. Talk about all the ratios I think given. Normally you don't need to buy hard this because in examinations we are giving the ratio formulas, everything for you. And there we talk about the liquidity ratio. Ideals should be 2:1. Satisfactory level should be 1.5:1 above, and asset test should be 1:1. Satisfactory level should be 0.75:1. Right. Talk about the working capital, current asset minus current liability, and right, working capital cycle, intervals of the manager working capital, liquidity, working capital problems, how to improve the working capital, how to improve the liquidity, these methods. And finally, the use of financial statement, we talk about different uses, different purposes. Even the Varl Town Pool case study also we talk about why employees looking at the financial statement. Employees may be looking at financial statement to wage negotiations and to ensure the job security. Managers will be looking at the financial statement to control cost analyzing and decision making. Owners to know their performance and financial position. Shareholders look at the size of the dividends, right? And then bankers to make the lending decisions. Suppliers to carry out credit search before they granting a trade credit. And investors to analyze the progress and performance of the company. Government to monitor the progress of the economy, help ensure the policies. Competitors to analyze their comparisons, take core decisions. Media to produce reports on the business and commerce. Tax authorities to get the details of income tax. Auditors to verify the true and fair view for accuracy of the business financial reports prepared by managers, like that. This is the one that finally we discuss about this thing, and then registrar of companies submit the copy every year annually with the Chamber of Commerce. So this is the everything that we discuss in the financial management section, right? So I hope you actually enjoy this lesson series from this section 3, the source of the business financing. So it's a good theoretical and also more calculations and as well as more technical. I think you hope that you enjoy the sessions, this lesson series of the source of financing and everything. It's a good lesson for the financial managers, for students as well as the people who are in the business right now to get kind of a fundamental idea, theoretical idea what's happening in the financial management. It's a small financial management recap course, but in advanced courses you will learn more in regarding detail how to prepare a financial statement. So this is the business section of the financial management, all entrepreneurs, the business managers, the people's marketing managers, bankers, IT managers, like these kind of people. I think this knowledge is pretty enough to understand the financial statements, because the other section is belong to the financial managers, like accountants, accounting students, and the people who work in the finance department must need more thorough knowledge about these things. But I mean, this course mainly particularly we designed for the students who actually look into the financial management, like a business module. Financial management will decide to give some kind of brief idea about each and every section of the financial management, like income statement, SOFP, ratio analysis. So this is not in detail, like a deeper level in the accountancy. This is a business studies level. Like theoretically and briefly, we are going to understand the importance, advantage, disadvantage to make a decision. This is more than enough for entrepreneurs, business owners, CEO level, like the people who work in the non-financial sectors to actually get some kind of like a brief idea for you, right? So if you want more details and everything, go again and again my this lesson series. You can learn all these lessons again and again. If you want to know more about the ratio analysis, please follow the ratio analysis video and you can go through again. You can watch more things and you can in detail, you can listen to this thing and you can sharp your polish your knowledge. Okay, then with that, I'm going to wind up this session. In my next session series, I'm going to start with the operation management sessions, like starting from the productivity, methods of production, economies of scale, and then quality control and all that aspects, which is like a production manager would require. I hope you join with that lesson series also. With that, I'm going to wind up our today's recording. Thank you very much.